Against this background of a rise in understanding of the emperor and his role in the church, and the widespread acceptance of Christianity as the true religion, thinkers in the church carry on trying to work out what we know about God, carry on issuing anathemas or solemn curses against those who disagreed with them. Once Jesus had been accepted as God, the question arose as how God, Father, God the Son, related to each other. Well, no one has really explained how you can have one God and three persons rule God at the same time. The Cappadocian fathers, living in a particular bit of what is now Turkey, had a good go at it. They were Basil the Great, 330 to 379, his brother, Gregory of Nyssa, and their friend, Gregory of Nazianzus. With baths at their head, they tried to repair the damage of the years of the Arian controversy in the Eastern Church. They wanted to show how you could accept the idea of homoousios, the one substance of Father and Son, and the distinct persons, the hypostasis, of Father, Son, and Spirit. They were at times accused of Sabellianism and tritheism, but they were actually trying to resist both. They argued that it was not enough to accept the Son as of being equal status with the Father, because that could mean there are actually two gods, but rather Father and Son had to be recognized as one God. Now, they had lots of problems with words. They were writing in Greek, and the closest Greek word to the Latin word personae was prospona. But in Greek, this word was used for the face or the mask, used in a role in a play. It was an outward appearance, but without a sense of it really being connected with the real person. So the Cappadocians used instead the stronger word hypostasis, meaning being. Basil argued that the Trinitarian baptismal formula and blessing demanded that the Father, Son, and the Spirit are all equal but distinct. The three operate together, never acting independently of the other. Their best idea was that they co-inhere or interpenetrate each other. This is called in Greek perichoresis, and it can be visualized as an eternal dance in which the parties are separate but always interchanging. When thinking about the Spirit, they decided that the Spirit could be distinguished from the Son by how he came from the Father. The Son was begotten, the Spirit proceeds. And on the basis of John 15:26, they argued that he proceeds through the Son from the Father. This idea would be very important later in church history. In 379, Theodosius, who was a Westerner, became Eastern Emperor, and he conclusively established Christianity as the religion of the empire and acted to suppress pagan worship. In 381, he summoned the Council of Constantinople to reaffirm the faith of Nicaea. No clear output of this has survived, but the later Council of Chalcedon in 550 affirmed a version of the Nicene Creed which differs from that recorded after Nicaea, and so is presumed to be the creed from this council. Arianism was ended within the mainstream church, although some of the attacks on the Roman Empire came from tribes which had been converted to Christianity by Arians, and particularly the Visigoths, who end up settling in Spain. In continental Europe, the church continued to develop structures based around towns. As Christianity became the religion of the empire, the rural hinterland was evangelized from the local town. A group of presbyters would be based in the town under the authority of the bishop and would go out into the villages to preach, to baptize, to take sacrament from the town. In time, the bishop delegated the ability to lead communion to these presbyters, since it was not always possible for people to come into town for communion. This pattern is called the Minster pattern. In time, churches were built in villages and presbyters settled there. That's when the foundations of the parish system were laid. But alongside this pattern, there were groups of Christians seeking a way of being totally devoted to God in their lives, and the monastic movement was born. Meanwhile, the outlying parts of the empire, such as Britain and Ireland, links were lost with the European pattern. And the monastic pattern was of individual hermits clustered in an area, like travelling monks, or else a separate monastic pattern of a community, very much like a school. And so if you ever go to Llantwit Major in South Wales, you're visiting the site of St Illtyd's school, where several hundred, possibly thousands of people gathered together to worship, to live, and to study together. People, not just men. The Celtic Christianity developed a form of monasticism in which men and women lived together, studied together, worked together, were married, but still lived in the Christian community. At the same time, there was another form of monasticism, which was the isolated hermits. Very different models of Christian community within the same form of church.